sunscreen yourself, yeah. Hello, bonjour, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cyril. I used to be a stem cell researcher for quite some time, and this is why I can tell you about the science behind skincare ingredients. And welcome to today's episode where we are going to talk about sunscreen. Of course, you probably know that this is my favorite subject. And by the way, if you are new, please consider to subscribe to my channel and don't forget the little bell to not miss any of my new videos. So from the early beginning of the channel, and this is also the same thing for my Instagram account, I am really adamant about using only an SPF of 50 plus, SPF 30, SPF 20, I mean SPF below, SPF 50 plus, like no, just forget about them, please. Why? There are basically two reasons. SPF 30 versus SPF 50 plus. The difference is that with the SPF 50 plus, you have twofold less UVs that goes into your skin and basically grill your skin, which is a huge difference. The other difference is, of course, the UVA protection between the two. Of course, with an SPF 50 plus, in most cases, you are more guaranteed that you will be more protected against UVA than with an SPF 50 or an SPF of 30. So please only choose SPF 50 plus. Also, be sun smart. I do know that super high protection, so very high SPF with also high UVA protection, which is the subject of today, by the way, is some of them are very difficult because they feel greasy, they just don't feel good. So have two sunscreen. One on a day-to-day basis that you love, that is good, that is elegant, that and another one that is hardcore protective when you are basically spending a lot of time outside. I have a ton of recommendation, and today's video is on very hardcore, super high UVA protection, which I obviously adore. So let's dive in. So the first baby is this one from the Spanish brand Isdin. This is the Spot Prevent. This bad boy right here has an SPF of 50 plus and a UVA rating of 60. Yes, 60. Can you believe this? Insanely high. Just as a quick shot to remind you, I remind you that in Europe, but also in Australia, every SPF 50 plus has at least a UVA protection of 20. I do believe that actually most of them are in between 25 when you are buying an SPF of 50 plus. Can you imagine that this one is 60? It's like crazy. So this one is a milk. It has a normal to almost matte finish, which is, I have to say, incredible when you think about the protection of this one. So I do know that they are a little overthird online about this one. I mean, I do not know how true it is or not. I'm just telling you what basically the brands is telling us, which is that the UVA protection is threefold higher than the minimum. So basically 60. It has fragrance, which is the downside. It has a minimal white cast, which is, I have to say, very elegant. It is actually really reminiscent of a Japanese sunscreen. This bad boy right here, the Anessa, the Perfect Milk. I have a full video about Anessa, so you can go and also watch this one. I highly recommend it. And it also has a little bit of alcohol. This one, for whatever reason, also for the alcohol content, it doesn't really disturb my skin. Now, in terms of filters, and I'm only going to go like in full depth about the filters for this one, because the other one I've actually already done some review on them, so you can go and learn more about it. So the first filter is octocrylene. Octocrylene is mainly a UVB filter. This is also one of those filters when they have some report that some people can be allergic to it. So keeping in mind, it might not be your case at all. Then it has titanium dioxide. Titanium dioxide is a mineral UV filters, which is also a chemical filters, by the way, that absorb UVB and also UVA type 2. This is a very loosey UVA type 1 filter. Then we have avobenzone. Avobenzone is a beautiful UVA absorbent. It absorbs UVA type 1 and also UVA type 2. And the last one is the amazing Tinosorb S, which is a broad spectrum filter that absorbs UVB, UVA type 2 and UVA type 1. Ooh la la. I mean, this combination of filters is, of course, excellent. What I think makes this sunscreen so elegant to use despite the very high protection is that it basically use the same idea as those Japanese sunscreens, so like this milk, the perfect milk from Anessa, because it uses organic based filters and also mineral based filter in the form of titanium dioxide. And why this is clever, because a mineral based sun filters is basically not oily, so it's not going to add some greasiness on your skin. So therefore in this one you only have the octocrylene, the avobenzone and the tinosorb S that do need some oil stuff to dissolve it, and not the titanium dioxide, which is also simply mineral, so you don't have any oily feeling. So I think this is one of the reasons why this texture feels so lightweight. Also, it does have a little bit of alcohol, again, to lighten the content in emollient. So if you are looking for, I would say, an everyday sunscreen that is very hardcore, because I mean, UV protection of 60 is like super duper hardcore, because you know that you work outside, for example, this is definitely the one to choose, as long as you are not sensitive to those filters and also to the fragrance and alcohol. So the next bad boy is this one. This is a French one. This is from Bioderma or Bioderma. This is the Familly milk, which is an SPF of 50+, and it has a UVA protection of 42. Love this, love this. So the UVA protection used to be disclosed on the Spanish brand website from Bioderma. Now it is no longer visible. Why? I don't know. I mean, with Bioderma, sometimes I do not understand. Sometimes they disclose it. Sometimes they stop. Sometimes it is on the packaging. Sometimes it's not. I'm like, oh, what a mess. Please just tell us the damn UVA protection. Anyway, this one is a UVA protection of 42. This is a cream that has a dewy finish to almost shiny finish, and this one does not really set. Therefore, if you have super oily skin type, you are going to hate this one. If you have normal to more, I would say, dry skin type, you can make it work. For dry skin type, of course, you can make it work. This is not also my favorite one, I would say, for the body, because it is a little bit sticky, like for the arms, for example, because it is in contact with clothes. I mean, this is not optimal for the face. You can make it work. And again, it has a protection of 42. I also think that this one on super dark skin tone, it is really lovely because it gives this a little shine that is really beautiful. But be careful, because it doesn't set, it might slide away. So I would encourage you to set it at least on the T-zone with some powder, and also don't use it like on the neck, in all the area where basically you have some rubbing. You can also use it on your legs, especially if you are wearing, for example, a skirt or a shorts or something like that, because you will not have a lot of rubbing. So in that case, it is fine, obviously. So in terms of filters, it has 5 filters. They are, I have to say, beautiful. The first one is Uvinol A+, I mean the best UVA type 1 filter that we currently have, or close to. Then we have Homosalate, the wonderful tinosorb S, ethyl salicylate, also known as Optisalate, again excellent. And the last one is ethyl triazone, aka Uvinol T150. I've already talked about this one, but basically when a brand formulates a sunscreen and they have all those filters to filter UVB, UVA type 2 and UVA type 1, because what you want is to have a very homogeneous filtering system, to not have, for example, UVA type 2 that will seep more into the formula. You don't really want this. Of course, you can use the Uvinol T150 to boost even more the SPF, even at really low concentration. Even with 1 or 2%, you can really increase at least by a decade. So for example, an SPF 60 can go straight away to an SPF of 70 just by using a little bit of Uvinol T150. An excellent one. So like I have said, the texture is very creamy. It is really pleasant actually to use, but very, very moisturizing, and it does not really set. So therefore you will need most likely to use a powder to really fix it. But it is also super inexpensive. Be careful if you have super fair skin. I did have some report from my subscriber that it does leave a sort of yellow cast. For those of you who have more medium skin or super dark chocolatey skin, I do find that this one would be beautiful on your skin type. Like I said, you have oily skin type, this is not the one for you. So the next bad boy or bad girl, who knows, or both, maybe, is this one from La Roche-Posay. Again, a French brand. This is Fluid Invisible, or the Invisible Fluid, the Shaka Fluid SPF 50+, with a UVA protection of 46. I mean, this is so sweet. I love this. I love my sunscreen when we know the UVA protection. And I have to say that in general, when I look at the La Roche-Posay brand, I'm like, or I'm like, oh, I really dislike them. I have a few videos where I basically bash again and again La Roche-Posay because I found them too expensive. Their formula are boring, and when the formula is even pretty good, it is too expensive. I mean, there's always something that is that I don't like. I mean, this is not a brand that I like to recommend. However, their sunscreen, oh yes, this is exactly what you want. Their sunscreen are good, and what I love about them is that they are those really few brands, to not saying the only one almost, that basically tells you the UVA protection, and it is clearly written on the package and also on the website. I mean, this is so sweet. I really love it, and basically you know where your money goes. So this one, it also retails for 15 euros in France. This is a little bit expensive. It is a milk, extremely fluid, I have to say. So you can choose the one fragrance-free, which I of course recommend. Don't go and buy the one with fragrance. I also happen to really dislike the fragrance, by the way. This one just stinks. It has absolutely no white cast. Whatever your skin tone, this one can work for you. It also doesn't have like a yellow cast, which is perfect. It does have alcohol, and I'm pretty sure that the concentration of alcohol is pretty high, because the minute you open it and you smell it, ooh, my god, I'm already drunk. Yes, it does have a lot of alcohol. It is slightly moisturizing and has a normal finish. It is not really matte, but at the same time, it is not really oily. Now, I do find it a little bit dehydrating the minute that I put it, probably because of the high content of alcohol. It does draw on some water from your skin, so be mindful of that. Of course, it will all depend on the season. If it is summer, super hot, super humid, this one also would be perfect. In terms of filters, I have also a video about this one, but this is just good. It has 6 filters. Gosh, ethyl exyl salicylate or Optisalat, then Juvenile T150, Tinazorb S, Avobenzone, and the 2 from L'Oreal Mexoryl XL, which is basically like the Tinazorb S, but less efficient, I have to say, and the Mexoryl SX. I mean, lovely. This combination is simply flawless. Of course, if you are someone that really don't like really thick, really creamy, very moisturizing sunscreen, this one is excellent. Because it is a fluid, it is extremely runny, like many of actually Japanese milk. It is way more fluid than the one from Anessa, for example. You need to be extremely careful, because with this one, a little bit can go a very long way. Therefore, if you consider to buy this one, what I would strongly advise you to do is to first apply the correct amount all over your face, and once you have done it, you wait for at least 10 minutes to set it, and you reapply a lighter coat all over your face, really to make sure that some area does not have less sunscreen on, because this is really something that you do not want. Also, check my video about this one, because I have a trick for those of you who are very sensitive to alcohol. I have actually find a way to make it work even on my skin. I am very sensitive to alcohol in sunscreen, and this one is way too much if I use it only on my own. And before I forget, I have to say that this one, like many actually Japanese sunscreen, is also an excellent one to apply on your arms. I wish it could be, I would say, slightly more matte and more set in a way, but it still works pretty well. I do think that, especially if you live in a city like during summer, this one is a good one just for the arms, because it is not too tacky. So the next one is again from La Roche-Posay, because like I said, La Roche-Posay does disclose the UVA protection. This is the Anthelios, the Ultra Cream. Also, this one is really lovely. This is probably one of my favorite one from all the ones that I have from La Roche-Posay. So this one, hence the name, this is a cream. The texture, very nice. It is creamy, but not overly creamy. It is not also too thick. It is not too tacky. It does set a little bit, not completely, but this is fine. And again, you can apply just powder, and with powder, it will just work like a charm. So this one will be compatible for normal skin type. Normal to slightly combination, I also do think that you can make it work, and also for drier skin type. So it does not contain perfume. I mean, if you choose the one without perfume, it has absolutely zero white cast. Again, for whatever your skin type is, this one will be compatible. You will not have like those dreadful white streaks. It does have alcohol, but compared to the Shaka fluid, I do think that this one contains less. This one I am not bothered by the alcohol. Again, alcohol in sunscreen helps to lighten the overall formula and basically have less emollient, less greasy stuff, which I like. And also the finish is normal to slightly dewy, but it's very minimal. It's very, I would say, elegant, especially for normal skin type. So this is an SPF of 50+, DA, of course, and the UVA protection is of 35. So it has 6 filters, Tinoxol S, Ethyl Exyl Salicylate, Uvinol T150, Mexoryl XL, Avobenzone, and the last one is Mexoryl SX. I mean, a lovely combination. I really enjoy this one. So the last one that I want to show you is this one. Again, I have a review about this one. This is the Anthelios, the KA or KA Plus SPF50+, a beautiful UV protection of 36. So this one is a cream finish. This is a cream that is, I have to say, very moisturizing. I do find it more moisturizing actually than the Anthelios. So this one is fragrance free. It does have a pretty strong white cast, I have to say. If you apply the correct dose, you do have a visible white cast, even on my super fair skin type. Therefore, if you have medium skin tone, you really don't like the white cast, this one is not going to be for you. You can apply, obviously, makeup on top by using a sponge, but keep it in your mind, for darker skin tone, it won't work at all for sure. And this one also contains alcohol. I do think that it contains a minimal amount of alcohol because I've never felt it, even when my skin is a little bit sensitized. So in terms of filters, it has ethyl exyl salicylate, also known as octisalate, titanium dioxide, so a mineral-based UV sunscreen. Then we have Tinoxol S, avobenzone, Uvinol T150, autocrylan, Mexoryl XL, and Mexoryl SX. So a beautiful 8 filters that are really going to protect your skin. So the last thing that I want to tell you about the sunscreen, especially the two from La Roche-Posay, is that the dose, so just over here to the dispenser, basically it provides 0.2 grams or 200 milligrams. I know that for my face I need 1 gram of product. I do have a video if you exactly want to know how. So basically it is very convenient because 5 pumps is the dose for me. If you do not know the dose, you need 6 pumps for your face, which corresponds to 1.2 gram of sunscreen. You can also use one of those teaspoons like the American one and use 1/4 of a teaspoon. I do find that this is also super convenient. The best way is of course just to measure your face and then you can weight your product. I am using a scale that I got from Amazon for maybe 10 euros, something like that. Super cheap, super inexpensive. So I find it very practical and I have like a little container. If you always use the same one, what I do is that you use the container, you weight it the first time and then you can use a pen, you make a mark and you know exactly what is the dose that you need. And like this, you don't even have to think about it. Of course, all the sunscreen that I've showed you are definitely the type of sunscreen that you need to use when you are exposed to a lot of sun. So basically, you go in Paris and you plan to walk outside for 3 hours under the beating sun. You need those sunscreen. You are going to the beach. You are going at the swimming pool. I don't know, you do a trek outside or something like that. You will need those type of sunscreen, obviously. So comment down below. I think I will do a part 2 of this video because, well, La Roche-Posay have released a new sunscreen, so I need to try them, of course, with high UVA protection, which I really enjoy. So if you did like this video, give it a huge thumbs up. It does help me a lot. Again, like I said in the beginning, if you are new, please consider to subscribe to my channel and do not forget to ring the bell because like this you will always get notified when I post a new video. Also, go to my Instagram. I have a lot of stuff on Instagram. I also tend to do a lot of live. So if you want to basically ask me any question and you want me to answer them, this is definitely the place to go. Again, thank you so much for your support and I will see you next time. Au revoir.